Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Chris, Tammy, and Joel, the CEO of God Backup here, folks. We have a really exciting program for you here this morning. And as we love to begin here, just like to recognize everybody that's here bright and early. I see here Bakshi from Bangladesh. Welcome. We have Guy, I don't know how to pronounce Gyike. Guy. Welcome.
Gyike, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, that's a hard one to pronounce.
Yeah, Bruce from Florida. We have Inyanam from Accra, Ghana. And well done, Inyanam. You're really rocking the boat here. Well done. We have here Celine. We have Alier. Welcome. We have Fulera from Belgium. Welcome. We have AI Percy. Great to see you here from Ghana. Let's see. Marie-Paul from Ottawa. Hey, Marie-Paul, we're in your city this morning. We'll see you on Sunday. Let's see here. We have Benjamin. Welcome, Benjamin. We have MC from Texas. I'm glad you're able to make it online, MC. I know you had some internet problems. James, welcome. Great to see you here from Ohio, United States. We have here Francis from Ghana, Vera and Andres and Justina, Richard, Courtney from Toronto. Well, great to see you here, man. Let's see here. We have Rama. Great to see you here. Eve, hey, how are you, Eve? We have an executive with us here today this morning. Great to see you. We have Ricky. We have Mara and Lee from the Netherlands. Welcome. We got to visit the Netherlands one day. I heard it's so beautiful. We have Gideon here. Welcome. We have Gitano. Welcome. And let's see. We can go on and on here. Hippinenza from Panama. We have Melanie.
Awesome.
We have Urban Soder. Great to see you from Sweden. We have Safara. And folks, we can go on and on and on and on. That's why it's here to be here light and bright and early, so we can recognize you, because obviously people are coming in. And folks, as you're coming into this webinar, thank you for joining us. We have a really wonderful session that we want to share with you here. Tammy, anything you want to add before we introduce our CEO?
No, I think we should just jump right in. We're super excited after Wednesday night. The wheels are turning, just contacting everybody, letting people know that couldn't be on that call to understand what's there and what's available constantly. I am so excited, Joel, about this website. Oh my gosh, there's so many. This is going to explode the company with everybody in their pages. I think you're limiting to 100 people or something. I'm going to let you go ahead, but
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
huge
So
one.
first of all, super excited to see you guys today, Tammy and Chris. We all traveled to Ottawa here. We've got Dr. Koa coming all the way from Ghana here. We've got Sylvie and Walter coming in from Italy originally, but out of Toronto and everything. So it's been amazing. So thank you guys. Looking forward to that. I see Mary Paul's here. I hope to meet you tomorrow, Mary Paul, in town here and so forth, guys. So yeah, after we wanted to do an encore webinar because a lot of questions have come in. And so that's what we really want to cover today. So by the way, guys, if you do have questions, go ahead and post them here. We'll try to filter them out and answer them for you and so forth. But yeah, traditionally, guys, in network marketing, especially in North America, this time of year is a bit of the slow season. Everybody's on their last holidays. Kids are about ready to go back to school, so on and so forth. But after Wednesday, boy, have things really skyrocketed. And I want to give a shout out to one person that I saw on the webinar. Now, there might be more. And Neonam, congratulations. I believe you're one sale away already. So imagine in just a couple of days, one sale away of getting your free website. And it's going to be a pleasure helping to build that out for you and so forth. So it's been very, very exciting. So yeah, again, guys, that was one of the first questions that came in. Hey, Joel, have you announced this in any other languages? And we have not, but I will in this coming week. So we'll be announcing it to the Italian market, the French market, the Spanish market, and other languages that we are in. Can we build websites in other languages? Gosh, yes. With ChatGPT today, guys, you can just post, you can give us your information and we can put it in whatever language you want it to go into. So that's not a problem at all, and so forth. Other questions that came in is the web hosting free? Yes, the web hosting is free too, guys. Web hosting is usually $20 to $25 a month to host your domain name and your website. All of it's completely free. There's no shenanigans, no gotchas, no anything. The only gotcha is make 5 sales between now and September 13th, and we're going to build you a website absolutely free. Now, Tammy did allude, this is manual labor, okay? We've got it obviously systemized a bit to where you're going to, so the question was, what happens when I get my free website? Well, we will be giving you a questionnaire, okay? We're going to guide you through that questionnaire, but it's going to take you a good half hour, up to an hour, maybe longer. Put it this way, the more information you give us, the better your website's going to be, okay? So that was another question that came in. I'm trying to think if there's others. I didn't really write them down. And guys, I'm doing this off the cuff because I'm actually at my dad's studio apartment in Elmer. So that's another awesome pleasure. Look at Tammy and Chris. It's really, that's the beauty of this industry is you get to go where you want to go, whenever you want to go. And it's been like that for, I know, Chris and Tammy for the better part of more than almost 3 decades, I guess. Right, guys? Yeah. And same with me. It's been about 25 years for me where I haven't really answered to a boss. I do answer to our customer base, but that's always pleasure and that's always fun and so forth. So website is in domain. The only thing you do have to pay for your domain name. Now, I kind of prefer you buy it through GVO because then we do make at least $7 or $8 off of all of this if you're going to buy a domain name. I'll put that in there now. It's gvonames.com. I'll put it in the text chat for you all. You do have to buy your domain name because we want you to own it. But again, the web hosting, which is traditionally about $20 a month, is absolutely free. So the process is you're going to get the form. You're going to fill out the form. And then we'll do some webinars, and it's first come, first serve. So if you get the webinar, just as an example, because we've built many, many websites over the years, some people got really lazy on us. And what they sent us their resume. Like, no, hey, this was my childhood. Tell your story, guys. In your form, put your story. Don't put your resume that you worked at Corel and then you worked at Oracle. Like, people don't care about that, right? Tell your story. And that's why we need you to do that. We don't know your story, right? And stories are what sells you guys, which generates know, like, and trust in you guys and so forth and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I'm going to share my screen, guys, because I've got my own story to share with you guys a little bit, which is...
as you're sharing this, just wanted to mention, Tammy and I have created a really good training on creating your story based on what we've learned over the years. And it's something that we're going to add into the VIP training. So I think that's a great training that we could do for folks that are part of the VIP program, and then we
Okay.
can do this in there. And because it's a really good training on all the recipes, all the steps to get the recipes to create an impactful story that we got with some that we were trained from some very highly professional, great storytellers. So just sort of mentioning that.
Sure. Well, why don't you, since you know just how important that is, why don't you guys share a little bit of how you created your story, and it'll help people jog their minds on how to generate, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Sure. Well, one thing that's very important is as you start thinking of your story, like Jolie's absolutely correct. Some folks are you're just going to send a resume because they're trying to get the quick, fast track job where they don't have to really think much. You just send a resume to someone to handle all of the work. And it's absolutely, Jolie's absolutely correct. People don't really care about the nitty-gritty details of the data, what you've done. What they care about is the emotional attachment of what's going on with you. People, that's the reason why TikTok, and let me rephrase that. That's the reason why social media is so big. People love to hear other people's stories. And the people that have these huge, massive followers or following, they have a story that are compelling to others. And there's a saying that your why must make you cry. And that's really important. So dig deep. And some of you have some very good story, but remember, I know that some things could be very personal that you don't really want to share with the public, but there might be a way for you to communicate your message. And it has to be, where were you? What happened? And how are things now?
Yeah.
That's really the recipe. And think about that and start drafting all of these things. Maybe your resume can give you some aspect of, things that you've done, but people want to hear about you and how you felt and what did you do to overcome whatever was the cause for this situation, to the point that you now you're living the life you are living, or so forth. And
Well, we can go through the blueprint next Saturday, Chris, on the training. So you see the blueprint that we use to create the story. But people need to know where you come from. They really do. They're buying into you, your story, and where you are today. But most important is the future, is what you see with Got Back Up. Why you're so excited about being part of Got Back Up, because people are going to buy your story first before they create their own story. They're buying you. You're the brand, right? And that's exactly what people are looking for. So really take the time to fill out this form in details, and and of course you guys are the gurus, Joel. I'm excited. NUNAM, I'm excited to see your page,
Website.
really. And we should start promoting it every single Saturday. Let's promote some pages and recognize the people who worked so hard to get their pages. And if you guys want to be recognized, go get your 5.
Yeah, exactly. And adding on to what you both said, because I agree with you both wholeheartedly. Sometimes people, when they're brand new, or they see their future of success, but they're not there yet. Yeah. Sometimes people think, well, I don't have much of a story to tell. Why would people even care? Like every single one of us have certain experiences in life that we can share with others. And it's those experiences, even though maybe the experience isn't the same as somebody else has had, they still resonate with the struggle. They still resonate with your story. And it's like Tammy said, your story is absolutely your brand. So just as an example here, guys, here's my website. And again, you saw the other websites that I showed you earlier. We'll build out a website to your know, like, and feel and stuff like that. But I do have my story right here on my page. And some other things you'll probably want to add is some, now, if you haven't made a lot of money online or whatever, these testimonials don't have to be about income. They can just be about your character, Chris and Tammy and I, before working together, never really made money together at all. But I would have loved to have their testimony about me on my website. So here's, these are just some testimonials that I have. And then again, on this page, some other things that I highly recommend you do, guys, is put some videos on your about page or your story page and so forth, because words sell, but videos tell your story. You know, if they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 10 million words. Okay. So, you know, I self-admittedly, I need to update this a bit because we still do a lot of fitness online and so forth. But, you know, here I have a heartfelt little video of when I, you know, surprised my son at 16 years old with a truck. You know, if you've got any little videos on your phone that shared a heartfelt moment or whatever, that's very, very important. So that's why you need to fill out the form, guys, because we don't know your story and we certainly can't tell your story for you and so forth. So, and
yeah, I just want to add something there, Joel, about your page.
Please.
I always picture myself, you know, looking at something and I'm seeing it for the first time and I don't know this person. So I see what goes on in my mind, and just looking at your page, even if I wasn't too much into business, I love fitness. So just watching Joel with his fitness video, I'm attracted to the fitness world. So I would want to know more about Joel because I have the same interests. So
Exactly.
yeah,
No, sorry, go ahead, Tammy. Keep going.
yeah. So don't think that, oh, I'm not very good in business. I'm telling you, people will be attracted to you. If you're a person that knits really well, I mean, you're going to attract all kinds of people who knit really well. I'm just making an example, figure skating or whatever. People buy into people who have similar interests as well.
Yeah, exactly. And even if the interest isn't exactly the same, it's a different hobby, they still connect with that. You know what I mean? So as an example, guys, a little bit of my story on fitness. I really wanted to become a professional bodybuilder. And then when I got to the national level, I realized, and I'm just telling you guys the truth, there was way too many drugs at that level, too many performance enhancing drugs. And I had to make a big decision in my life at that time, which was either do the drugs. And honestly, guys, I would have probably done that if I knew I was going to be in the top 3 in the world in bodybuilding. But even then, I knew I didn't have the genetics. I knew I wasn't going to be in the top 20 or in the top 50 in the world. So I looked at it and I looked at the risk to reward ratio. And I'm like, I'm probably not going to make a living. And the defining moment that got me online, guys, and this is another true story, is I was sponsored by quite a few, you know, fitness companies, swag companies, nutrition companies. So I was making back then, and I was 21 maybe at the time. I was making about $25,000 a year from endorsements and sponsorships and things like that, which is really not a lot of money. And at that same time, my cousin Chris Tarian got drafted into the NHL. And his first contract was $350,000 a year. And then his second contract a year later was $3.6 million a year. Now, my cousin is 6 months older than me. And that was my epiphany, right? I was like, oh boy, I'm making $20,000 a year. He's making $3.6 million a year. Something's got to change here. So what I did is I pivoted and I took my passion for fitness. And rather than trying to become a professional bodybuilder, I just shared my fitness online, which we still do today with 7-minute workout and so forth. And so that's how I got online. And just by telling that story, some of you might resonate and say, yeah, you know, originally I wanted to become a ballerina, but I broke my ankle and you know, that ended my career as becoming a ballerina. So even though the situations are different, people resonate with the story, which is very, very, very important. Okay, so let me come back to my page here. And so what we're going to do, guys, the other thing that's very important, this is the most critical component of your website, is trying to generate leads. Now, you can try to generate preferably a name, an email, and sometimes a cell phone number. Now, people, that's why we say optional. Some people don't want to leave their cell numbers. Some do, but it's ideal. The reason you want to generate leads, so all your marketing from social media should come from social media to your website to brand you. And then, of course, when people fill out all these forms, that generates leads into your personal database. This is not rented. This is owned by you. Okay. The reason why that is so critical is this happened to me last Saturday, exactly 1 week ago. Out of the blue, no proper reason, my Facebook account was completely disabled. Now, this had never happened to me before. I believe I created my personal profile on Facebook in 2005, about a year after Facebook launched. I put a lot of work into it. And, I had heard of other people's accounts getting disabled or getting suspended, so on and so forth. But I thought to myself, oh, I'm a good boy. This will never happen to me because I don't sell scammy stuff, or I don't do things that are against the law or whatever. And what happened there, guys, which was unbelievable, is I was actually just helping Tammy with a customer on Facebook Messenger last Saturday. And she said, hey, this person forgot their password. Can you reset their password? And I said, sure, why not? Because I know Tammy, and I know Tammy knew the customer well. So I went and reset their password, gave it back to Tammy. And then the wonderful bots of Facebook literally shut down my account as I was talking to Tammy. And so I literally called Chris 5 minutes later. I said, to let Tammy know that I'm not ignoring her or being a jerk, but my Facebook account just got suspended. And the funny thing is, it happened to my wife, Eve, a week before helping a customer. So there must be some algorithm where if you put password in Messenger or whatever, because there's 3 billion users on Facebook, right, guys? So it's got to be bots that go and do those types of things. And so my wife's account got shut down, but 2 days later, so it got shut down for cybersecurity issues, okay? And 2 days later, my wife's account was turned back on. We thought, okay, no big deal. Well, mine got shut down. 3 days later, nothing. 4 days later, nothing. 5 days later, nothing. Well, it was literally right after the webinar that we did on Wednesday that all of a sudden the login screen popped back up on my Facebook. And I was all excited. I was like, good, I got my account back because I know I didn't do anything wrong. Well, I log in for it to say what you guys saw. My account has been permanently disabled and deleted. You can download your information now. And it was shocking and unbelievable. And yesterday, my wife was able to get somebody real on the phone with Facebook, and they're like, no, sorry, it's gone. It's gone. It's deleted. It's gone. There's nothing we can do. Now, the lucky part about this is I had my fan page, okay? And years ago, now my fan page has 200,000 followers, guys. To get those 200,000 followers took me a lot of work. And I spent a lot of money in advertising over the past couple of years. Probably, I know there's people that spend millions a month, but I spent a couple $100,000 over the past 5 or 6 years on Facebook. And had I not made my wife an admin as well, then my fan page would have been deleted. But because my fan page was associated with an active account, luckily my fan page is still there. So the point being, what's really great, guys, is yes, it's annoying. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's heartbreaking, but it didn't put me out of business simply because I have this. I have all of our customer data, whether it's through Got Backup or GVO or personally, all this data is now mine. And again, that's how you build your brand. So what are some other examples that's really great when you have your own data on here? You can start running your own webinars. Just as you're all here because of an email to you about the webinar, you can start running your own webinars and build yourself up. So another kind of perception that came in from people, when we announced this, they're like, oh, Joel, this sounds like a lot of work. Actually, no, it makes things easier. It streamlines things because you're sending all your social media and all your traffic to your own website. Okay. And when people see your own website, that's what builds your brand. It's really not more difficult than that, guys, is sell your, a lot of CEOs in companies, they tell you, promote Got Backup, promote Got Backup, promote Got Backup. I've always been the type of person is promote yourself first, then promote Got Backup, because we hear a lot today as well. Oh, this, body, Beachbody went from an MLM model to a social, an influencer model. And really, anybody who's a strong influencer is just really somebody who's built a very, very strong brand for themselves. And that's all that it is. So that's the importance, guys, of having your own website. And we want you to see longevity and success for a very, very long time. And it's so important. As I showed you guys on Wednesday, I've built websites for my kids. My wife has a website, and we've built thousands of websites over the years. And that's the importance of building your data. Understand this, my Instagram account's been suspended a couple of times for whatever reason. When you are on, so understand this, when you are on social media, you do not own it. You're renting that space from that platform, whether it's TikTok. Look, how many times have we heard now that TikTok might be getting shut down in the United States, but Trump signs another executive order and it's still there? There's people that make their full-time living just from their TikTok account alone. So that's why you tell those people from your TikTok account, send people to your own personal website, collect their data, and then that way, if anything happens that you have no control over, you're safe and sound. If I didn't collect the data that we have, the minute my Facebook account was shut down or suspended, I literally would have been out of business. So that's the importance, guys. I know it's outside of the network marketing realm, but you want to become your own influencer. And that way, really, when you brand yourself, truly, guys, life gets much, much, much easier. And it's really not that hard to do. It's just consistency. Now, building your brand doesn't mean post a picture and a selfie of yourself every day. Look at me, look at me, look at me. No, it's about doing interesting stuff on social media, being helpful to others, but on your social media profiles, having a direct link back to your website. And that's really the key. Anything you guys like to say, Chris or Tammy?
No, you're absolutely dead on. Maybe I can share a little bit of what Tammy and I are doing, if you're okay with that.
Yes, please do, Chris.
And this is something that's really important. This is our site. And again, it's being hosted on God Backup. And why do we, it's part of our story that this is it's not exactly our backyard, but it's about 5 minutes away from where we live. And it's part of our story. I mean, who does not want to have the beach in your backyard, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what we've built, and it's part of our story in here. And then Tammy and I have a podcast. We've been doing network marketing for a long, long time. So people click on that. And every Saturday we send another podcast. It's about 5 to 7 minutes. Now I'm just sharing you what we're doing. And there's probably about 10 to 15 leads. Sometimes it's even more per week that comes in. And over here is getting started. We went a little further. We create a little back office that people can join in and get to know us a little bit better. Over here, we have, people call us the power couple. And we didn't make up that name. They called us that. And I've used that part of our story. And we wrote a book in 2018 about our story around network marketing. We literally wrote a book on it so people can see that we didn't just get very successful network marketing. I mean, you should see behind us what fell and how many times things fell apart that we were so discouraged, but we kept moving forward.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We wrote this so people can see breaking the cycle of poverty through network marketing. This is the show. This is what we do. People can turn around and get their own copy. This is how that's actually older. It's several years ago. Things has evolved since then, but that's how we started a podcast. And then from there, we have a few testimonials. And over here, this is where, and I agree that Joel, that I've noticed that in your website, the gathering leads is way at the top. But in this case, we just get the name and email. And it's probably one of the reasons why there's so many popping in with a phone number and so forth. And these are all our social media and everything else. So that's kind of what we do. And I wish I would have done that years ago, Joel. I really, really do. But, we started realizing, especially after the COVID days, how important it is to convert yourself digitally. Before that, we were belly to belly. We were always in a plane. And I love being in front of people. This synergy you get in an audience, it's unbelievable. It's very different when you're online. You don't feel the people that, all of you that are here, we can't see you, but you can see us. So it's kind of like a one-way ticket, but we got used to this. And that's why we decide to brand yourselves and the opportunity. And I find that brilliant what God Backup are doing, because what they're doing, they say, hey, listen, guys, we're manually creating a website for you for free, but do your part. Go get 5 people. Get 5 people. Show us that you're committed in building your business, and we'll put a sail on your boat to propel you forward by helping you promote yourself. And that's what it's all about. It's absolutely brilliant. It creates the right behavior. That's how you create a mammoth organization. I find that, Joel, kudos to you and the team. It's absolutely wonderful. And as people, and I believe that, and Yona mentioned that she has her 5 now. So she's going to get her probably
Awesome.
so,
Very exciting.
this is what it is. It's an exchange. It's a lot of work behind putting a website together. Even though if it's database driven, it still has to be done on a one-on-one basis based on your personal data. It has to be, the picture has to be fit properly. The wording and everything has to fit and everything else. So there's work to be done there. And that's on individual basis. So they're going to be busy, but in turn, you do your part. So anyway, that's my segment.
Awesome. Well, yeah, congratulations, Neonam. I'll check on the back end, and we'll certainly get started on your website on Monday. Our design team will reach out to you with the form that you need to fill out. So that's amazing. And here's the thing, guys, Chris is absolutely right, because when the world changes, the old things still really work. Like the belly-to-belly marketing really, really works. So we've done a couple events, smaller events with Chris. We're doing it's more of a meet and greet tomorrow. I have no idea who's going to show up. I think it'll be about 30 people. That's great. But when you do the belly-to-belly marketing, literally, guys, like probably 95% of people that were there as guests signed up immediately. Why? Because it's something that they need. And who doesn't have $10 a month, especially with the value that's there and so forth. So the point is, it's not hard to get 5 people. It really, really isn't at all. And we set the bar very, very, very low so that we can help you guys become a success. And again, not going to sugarcoat it. You still have to be consistent after that. If you build your website, but you're not doing any marketing for yourself, then things aren't going to happen very, very well. And apologize, my dad's in the background.
Cool.
I guess he got hungry,
I love it.
So I was anticipating some more questions. I don't see any in here. So today's webinar is not going to be too long, guys. If you do have a question, just post it in there. Hey, Mikey. Mike says hi off the webinar.
I just want to add something for Enu now. What's exciting is she's got her first 5 so quickly, and now her 5 also get to be part of the contest, and they're there at the beginning, so they have time. But we're always encouraging people to do it as quick as possible, because you want to be one of those people that are being recognized and marketed. And we're gonna recognize you on the Saturdays with your branding pages, and this is going to be exciting.
Good question that came in. What's your thought about building your own community on a private platform like School? I think it's a very, very good idea. I would still, though, register your own personal name. Okay. So as an example, I have Joel Tarian, Chris has Chris and Tammy. My kids live Tarian, Justin Tarian. My wife has her domain, all that kind of stuff. Still get your own domain name. And even if you want to, you can redirect your domain to a School community. They're doing very, very well. Joshua Elder, who is one of our top affiliates right now. He's not really an MLM builder, but certainly one of our top affiliates in Got Backup, sends a lot of his traffic to his School community where people can join for free. And so School is basically what I've already said. In order to become part of somebody's School community, you have to register. When you register, you get their name, their email, you get their data. So that's really cool. Inside of School, you can download that data and keep it on your computer. So it's a great idea to do that as well.
There's a question here, Joel, that maybe you can address. I know that sometimes, like, for example, my name was taken. It's kind of a pain, right? They say, oh, this guy's rich, can pay $1,000 to get his name back. I said, the heck with that. So I just kind of created, and that's the reason why we have chrisntammy.com. People are being, it's just the way things are. So do you have any suggestions if your name is taken?
I would try to get your name. If not, you can do an abbreviation of your name. I was lucky because I registered my name, probably in 1998, right? Before all this domain hoarding and stuff happened. So you could always get a Joel. I have, as an example, I tried to get Tarian.com at one time, and somebody wanted like $45,000 for it. I'm like, I'm not paying that much, but I own Tarian.me. Okay. And, can you get business names too? Yes. But again, when you have your own name, then that opens up your world to be able to promote anything independent of a business name or something. Like I know many of you have registered like got backup domains, like got backup Ghana or got backup something or whatever. I just really, I really think it's a good idea to get, your own domain. So .me, if your .com's taken, .me, .net, whatever, or abbreviation of your name, search around and see what you can get and stuff like that. And then give me a second. A couple of people were asking about once you have the website. So let me.
Yeah, that's the reason why I put Mike's answer here. That was Hernan says, once the website is built, can we update anytime? And the answer is there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. The answer is yes, and I'll log in and show you guys that in just a moment here, guys. Give me a second.
So I hope you guys like this interactive webinar, so you can get a better feel for what's going on, folks. You do your part, the company will do their part. That's it's absolutely fantastic, folks. I'm telling you, it costs a lot of money to put a website together. It really does. For you to get all of that for sponsoring 5 people, remember the people it can be monthly. It has to be a yearly package so people don't quit the next month, right? So, there's strategies sometimes people take. So it's important that it's a yearly membership for 12 months. And that's how you get the free website.
Chris, are you still streaming on the back end? Because it won't allow me to share my screen.
Sometimes you have to remove, hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
There we go. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So Mike already answered the question, guys, but right here on your back end. Now, again, let me be transparent. No, this isn't a full e-commerce website with data, like you're talking $10,000, right? So once you have your website up, so as an example, here's my wife's website. We will build it inside here. These are some of the websites that I've run now and in the past. And then from here, you'll be able to update it when you want to, change things. The difficult part isn't the text part of your website. It's creating the nice logos, the nice pictures, the nice combinations of colors and stuff like that. So you've got a full page builder in here. And a lot of people say, well, I'm scared to change it, Joel, because what if I break it? Well, if you do break it in some way, or whatever, don't worry. We always have your default website that we built for you. So you're welcome to play around with this and add pages and add different things and change your layout as much as you want. And if God forbid somehow you mess it all up and break it, don't worry about it, because we will always have the default website that we built for you on file, and we can re-upload that. So I welcome, because the more you play with it, the more you learn it, the better you're going to be with it. So the answer is yes, you can update your website at any time. You're also able to update, to publish your website to multiple domains if you want to. So you might have one little mini website about yourself, maybe another little mini website, cross my fingers, about Got Backup. I certainly wouldn't mind that. And if you were doing other things online like knitting, crocheting, whatever, fitness, health, wealth, supplements, you can build, different things about that as well. So,
Joel, to add to this, because it's absolutely brilliant. What Tammy and I decide to do is when someone opt in, they receive a welcome email. And in that welcome email, that's when we talk about options on what we do and who we're affiliated with, right? So again, it's some people may want to remain generic for whatever reason. And then for that point on, once they opt in, then the very first email they get in is like, check this out. This is what we're all about. And it's just, what we do.
So again, once that's a very good point, Chris, because, I've been doing this for so long, I forget that there's some stuff in there that people may not be too privy to. So not only are we giving you the ability to collect leads, but on the back end, using your lead capture system, you can do a whole automated series of emails. So again, people had the perception of, oh, this makes life more difficult. No, it actually makes it way more streamlined, guys. So, if we're going to get into the email marketing a bit, the biggest mistake I see, which just pushes people so far away from you, is their first email out is, make $10,000 a month like I did. Join my team. Click here. No, God, no. It's called Will You Marry Me Marketing. Okay, guys, let's transition into that a little bit, because we're giving you the lead capture system so that you can market to the people that come to your website and fill out your form. It's called Will You Marry Me Marketing. And what do I mean by that? If I was 21 again and I was single, so to my wife who's watching, I'm not talking about today, talking about if I was single.
Fast.
20 years ago in a bar, and I see a pretty girl at the bar. Well, what's the first thing you do? You go up to her and you say hi, right? You get to know each other. Now, if I went up to that girl and I said to her, "We're getting married tonight. That's it. We're getting married." What are the chances of my success? Absolutely zero. Probably a slap in the face, or this guy's a weirdo, or whatever the case may be. That's the same thing with your email marketing, okay, guys? If somebody opts in, your first email should just reiterate your story, okay? Even if you have your story on your website, hey, this is Joel, thanks for opting in. I want to tell you a little bit about my why I joined Got Backup, or I started to do online marketing. I was working at the Montfort Hospital in Ottawa, Canada. I came to discover, even though I was making $50,000 a year, my colleagues who had been there for 20 years were only making $56,000 a year. And gosh, I realized that that's really not going to get me to where I want to go. And that's why I just started to do online marketing. And boy, let me tell you, the first couple of years were a challenge. But guess what? And here's the other thing, guys. Share the challenges, but don't say you're in the challenge today. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's going to push people away. So if I say, so as an example, if my email said, "I just got started today and gosh, I really have no clue what I'm doing. And I need a lot of help myself," that's going to push them away. No. So let's say I'm brand new to internet marketing, brand new to Got Backup, brand new to network marketing, whatever the case may be. My message would be, this is why I got started. And boy, am I ready to create a freight train, right? Again, other examples, true story. When I started my company, I literally had servers in my basement. I wish I had pictures, guys. And then I graduated to having servers in my dad's basement. I wish I had pictures, but I was so embarrassed at the time that I never took any pictures. Hey, Dad, do you remember when I used to have servers in your basement 25 years ago?
Yep.
Yeah. Who cares, right? So, but anyway, I never took any pictures back then, but I would get phone calls, and people would call, and I've told this story before, but this gentleman who's still a customer today, his name was Chet Hastings, called, and back then, guys, we were called Kiosk because I wanted to be in a bilingual environment here in Quebec. And so I picked up the phone. I said, welcome to Kiosk. This is Joel Tarian. How can I help you? And he's like, Joel Tarian? I'm like, yeah. And I had already developed a really pretty website at that point. So we looked like a $100 million brand, right? He's like, aren't you the CEO? I said, yes, sir, I am the CEO. And he goes, oh, well, that's nice. I didn't expect to get the CEO on the phone. And, the truth was I was sitting in my basement with servers behind me and all that kind of stuff. But what did I say? So the point is, in your email, the truth is maybe you're just getting started and you're having all the difficulty in the world and you're just trying to figure it out. You don't say that. What I said to Chet, I said, well, Chet, we're a little bit of a smaller company, so I like to keep a heartbeat on the company. And so, yeah, you got me on the phone. The truth was I was the help desk agent. I was the secretary. I was the accountant. I was the server admin. I was everything. But of course, I'm not going to say that over the phone. So he said, well, it's nice to meet you. And then he started asking me really, really, really technical questions that were like 1 ear in 1 ear and out the other, like reverse DNS and like just things. I was like, oh boy, this guy's been doing web hosting way longer than I've been doing web hosting. And I said to him, I said, listen, sir, I'm more on the marketing side of my company. So again, the truth was I could have said, I have no clue what you're talking about. Maybe you shouldn't host with us. So I said to him, I said, sir, let me get to my technical team because I had a friend in college who was doing my server admin for me. I said, let me get with my technical team because I personally am more on the marketing side of our company. So I will get you the answers and I'll get back to you. So I hung up the phone. I called my buddy. His name was Eric Forsyth. I said, hey, can we do these sort of things on the servers? He's, oh, yeah, that's easy. No problem. That kind of stuff. So I called him back and I said, yes, sir. I talked to my technical team. Not a problem at all. We can do all that. And sure enough, a minute later after we hung up, he joined. So again, it's called posture, guys. It doesn't matter if you just started today, posture up and always be positive and so forth. So, so that's the first thing. Your first email out, very positive about your story, how you can help them, even if you can't. And even still today, it's like, sometimes I don't have I feel like I don't have enough information to be able to help people or whatever. But you get what I'm saying, Chris and Tammy. You know, it's all about that posture and being there and being available and being present for people. And if you write your emails that way, it's really, really good. So my rule of thumb is I do about 5 emails that we like to call, is that just me that?
No, your voice is coming
gone?
through. Just a bit of a lag on the internet, but your voice is coming through. It might be the microwave. Microwave tends to do that. It interferes with Wi-Fi. So, I mean, at the end of the day here, folks, what's really important is people do business because they like you, they know you, they trust you. That's really what's going on. And that's why I'm so excited with this promotion, because it is really not difficult for individual to get 5 people to do God backup yearly. In exchange, and I know because I've had many different attempts of branding yourselves, and I'm not kidding. Some people want $2,500 to put a website together and then a monthly fee to maintain it. I mean, folks, it's crazy. Joel, are you back?
You know, and some of you might be saying, yeah, it's easy for you, because I've had people say that to me before, right? And I would just say to them, well, leverage, you guys. We're here. Leverage. We'll get on a call with you if you need that support to help you get that person on board. And that's the benefit of the network marketing, belly to belly. I know a lot of people do online marketing, and again, it's easy to get somebody on board just to help get the sale for you. So make sure you get back to the person who you're working with, and they're going to be there. Well, they want you to get your 5. So yeah, so bother them. We always say, bug us, please bug us. Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I lost internet in my dad's apartment for about a minute or so, so I'm back. But I mean, I think people get the gist. I love what you just shared, guys. And so get your 5, because guess what? If you get some sort of rock star who wants their own website too, and they join today, they can go get their 5 before September 13th as well. You know,
Joe, when you look at the cycling possibilities, and if you start looking at your team with a multiplication of 5 every time someone comes in, it is crazy. My mind always, I mean, this is what we do for a living. This is how we live out of a compensation plan. Tammy and I have been full-time in network marketing. In my case, it's close to 28, 29 years, or close to 30 years now, full-time in network marketing, probably 20, 29 years, full-time. So the fact is, and when we're doing well, we're doing very, very, very well. You know, properties in Florida, property in Toronto, the Tesla and everything else. It's a very good industry that pays well, but it doesn't pay well because we're just master recruiters. By a long shot, we're not the biggest recruiters, but we're going to recruiters, kings and queens. And how is this happening? Well, it's based on the personal growth and what we've learned. And we tend to attract CEOs opposed to attract, everybody. So the fact here is, but this
mindset.
Yeah. And what you think about expand, always remember that. If you keep telling yourself, whoever I'm recruiting, they're not doing anything. And folks, don't focus on that, because what you think about expand. Now I'm getting into a different tangent here, but it's all part of the self-branding. That's why personal growth, reading some books about biography from maybe past networkers or professional speakers or motivational speakers, right? And by the way, Joel, just want to let you know that the microwave interferes with Wi-Fi, so that could be also a bit of an issue. Just wanted to let you know.
I was thinking it was maybe the steel plate in my head or something like that. I don't know.
No, I just thought, because I have experience in doing this and I'm seeing it again. So just food for thought. But anyway, so at the end of the day here, folks, it's a wonderful combination. Joel, it is. I know I keep praising on that, but it's such an incredible idea. And remember when you were telling us about it, I said that was great. But now I'm realizing how powerful that is, because it goes back to what I was saying earlier, is the multiplication of 5. Yes. Think of your business and everybody wants a free website. Get your 5. This is brilliant. And I think there was a question where if someone stopped their services, are they going to lose their website? I would think that they would, but I'm going to let you answer, Joel.
Well, look, we're not here to hurt people or anything like that. So we would certainly give them their website in a downloadable zip that they can put on their computer. So you wouldn't lose your website. But of course, you're going to lose the ability to host that website, right? Because that does cost us money. So but honestly, I just can't see why somebody would do that, because if you start branding yourself, guys, when you look at our compensation plan, when you refer to your service is basically free. You know what I mean? But anyway, to specifically answer it, guys, yeah, of course, we would zip up your website. And then if you wanted to go host it somewhere else, you could certainly do so. That's not a problem at all.
And that alone is extremely generous, because I'm telling you, if you're dealing with Facebook or you're dealing with Dropbox, you're gone. They cut you off.
Like, well, I just got cut off. I just got cut off Facebook, literally.
Right? So this, again, it's a very caring company. They want to help you, but of course you want to help. It's important that you help yourself by doing the basic stuff, the basic work. But what they do is wonderful, and that's a wonderful community to be part of. So Got Backup is a wonderful, wonderful company. And remember, folks, it's a $10 a month fee. So it's not like you're paying $1,000 to get started and $200 or $250 a month to maintain your business. So keep that in mind. So because the cost is so low, you have to make in numbers. That's why the multiplication of 5 with this idea of sponsor 5 instead of just 2, and you multiply that within your organization. It's a brilliant idea that can propel you to a whole new level of business. So very exciting, Joe. Very exciting.
Yeah. And I just want to reiterate something that you mentioned that I've learned, and then maybe we'll call it a day. But sure. I heard you talk about what I really learned a lot the past couple of years from Tammy and Chris, and that's the point, guys. Is you never stop learning. Is I've been primarily on the internet marketing side, and they really taught me a lot about when you bring people in. And you create that retention by creating leadership out of those people. So, a lot of people are out there just to get the sale. You know what I mean? So just concrete example. There are people that have brought in over, and I hope you're okay if I share this. I think you guys brought in about 40 or 50 people yourselves, Chris. It could be more or less. I don't know. Yeah. There's people that have brought in 1,000 people themselves.
Correct.
But they're making less income than you guys are because they're only interested in generating the next sale. And that's not where the power of the duplication comes in. What I've seen, and I'm just so humbled to watch them in action, what I've seen Chris and Tammy do time and time again is they bring in people, but, and I remember when they first joined, they're like, oh, I got a new member and I spent 2 hours with them, just going through everything. And I'm like thinking to myself, why would you do that? It's only a $10 product. And I came to realize it's not the product. They're creating leadership out of those people. And it's only when you have the leadership and the generals in your downline does the true duplication happen. Some of the people in your organization, like Dr. Koa, and like we're just exploding across Ghana. And that's because Chris and Tammy spent years, I believe, mentoring some people in Ghana to become their own leadership. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for teaching that to me, because that's where the true duplication comes in. If you bring in 5 people, but you take 3 of those 5 and they become their own leaders, and and just as important, they become a leader, but you teach them the same qualities of turning their downline into leadership, that's where the explosive growth comes, and that's where the retention comes from. And their team is probably the strongest retentive team that we have in all of Got Backup, because they do spend a lot of time with people, guys. The last thing I'll say, it's always work. I see how much Chris and Tammy put into it. And so, build the business for 6 months and then live on the beach the rest of your life is absolutely not true, because you're always like, well, Chris and Tammy just said, hey, you're bringing in new people, bring them to us. We'll help you close them, right? So it's never ending. And what you do, though, guys, honestly, with your income that you build with your network marketing business, do like Chris and Tammy, invest in investment properties, create true passive income by investing in the stock market and so forth. And that's the truth of it all, because there's always going to be work involved with network marketing, because the business changes, new people come in, and there's always work involved. So from the bottom of my heart, love you both. Thank you for teaching me that, and thank you for all your hard work. And any last words, Chris or Tammy, to everybody?
Actually, we've learned a lot, Joel, from other leaders, of course. And if I could recommend any book that I continually listen to this audiobook and it still kicks in, is The 5 Levels of Leadership with John C. Maxwell. And it's all about developing the leader within and then lead others to do the same thing. And the more people that you have on board, you're building your own community. You're building your brand is really what you're doing, right? Of that know you, like you, trust you that Mike was sharing earlier. And that's how you build a solid foundation. And that's what Chris and I really, really promote, how to build a solid foundation and build a community. So we're super excited about this, and we're on board, and we're constantly connecting with our people. Not everybody that you signed up has even heard this stuff, you guys. They need to hear this, because they might be sitting in the background not knowing what's going on, and this is what's going to put fire under their butts to get themselves up and running. And even if you're not up and running, you're going to get them up and running and fired up. And everybody needs to know about this.
I totally agree. And my side of this, Joel, is, first of all, thank you for the opportunity. It came at an incredible, wonderful timing in our lives. And Tammy and I, sometimes, I know sometimes he says, you're like a robot. Sometimes I'm very systematic, and it's just the way I function, right? Everything has to be in order. Otherwise, for me, my life is chaotic if it's not. And what I love is the technology that you provided is helped me doing just that. It fits really well in my mold, because everything is organized digitally, financially, and everything else. But the fact here is, what you have here, folks, it's a great opportunity. It really is a great opportunity. And unfortunately, most people look at the results they get now and they get discouraged because, well, this is my expenses, this is what I'm earning, that's not enough, and they quit. And folks, you have to understand that this is an investment, and not just into the financial investment in yourself and your personal leadership. And it's important that you understand personal growth, because people want to follow people who know where they're going. That's very, very important. And the fact is, cloud storage is the future. That you see it or not, it is absolutely the future. And the fact here is, a paperless world is a reality today. And there is no opportunities, no company right now that offers what GoBotUp is offering with an income opportunity. And then you have all the tools that are offered to you, including the funnels. I mean, these funnels, there are people who are going to spend between $99 to $250 a month for another funnel to be able to promote their business. And it doesn't end there. Email marketing will cost you anywhere between $25 to $100 to $200 a month to have a good email marketing to communicate with your contacts. All of that is included into your $9.97 a month. It is unbelievable the value you have in your hands. Now, to put the cherry on the cake, we're saying, hey, go get 5 people and we'll help you brand yourself by creating a website, which, by the way, like I said earlier, will cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, plus maintenance fee to be able to create a self-branding website. All of this is included. So I'm sharing this with all of you so you understand what you have in your hand. You got liquid gold. That sounds like it's burning, but you know what I'm saying, right? You got liquid gold into, maybe not the palm of your hand, but you know what I'm talking about, right? And just sort of find an example that's realistic. But the fact here is, you have great value. Take advantage of it, promote it, and be proud of it. And remember that if the multiplication of 5 occurs within your business, because of this promotion, your business will propel really, really nicely. And remember, there's 7 ways. And as you recruit, 50% that is provided to you for a year, that is one of the most generous compensation plan that I've ever seen. Out of 75% that the company makes, it is filtered into the genealogy. For you to maximize that, you just need to qualify for the benchmarks for you to move up in rank. And these are the people that will earn. And it's not the biggest recruiters that's going to earn, as Joel alluded earlier. It is the people that mentor and create a community that will earn big, big money. Some of the most powerful, Dexter Yeager from Amway is the only billionaire that I know, but $1 billion as an associate. Who does that? What industry can do that? So it's just an example. The potential is massive. Dropbox has 700 million users. Do you understand the potential? This is what we see. Do you see that? So sorry, Joel, I kind of went on a little bit, but
no, because it's just so true. It's so true. Yeah, it's a phenomenal opportunity, and the value is insane, guys. And again, coming back to I really believe in a hybrid of the both. I've been an online marketer my whole life. You've done the belly to belly. I've now witnessed both. And I think that's where the true power is doing a combination of both. Because when we have done some meetings offline, literally everybody looks at each other, and I start to be, anybody have one of these? And of course, everybody's got it glued to their friggin' chest while they're at a meeting. And that's what anchors them in right away. And then when they realize that it's only $30 to get started and $10 a month, like it's an absolute no brainer. So we'll call it a day, guys. We're at an hour. Thank you, Chris and Tammy, for everything, guys. Get promoting, get out there. You've got till September 13th. This is not scarcity. We might have to cut it off at 100 websites. So, we will have to, because it takes time to build all those sites. So guys, have yourself an amazing Saturday. Get out there, start promoting, and we'll see you live on the next webinar. Thanks, Chris and Tammy. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
See you later
Bye-bye.
today. Okay, bye.